Hello everyone, my name is Christina and today I am here to talk with you about the art of tasting wine. I have here our 2018 Alexander Valley Cabernet from Silver Oak. I like to use the simple rule of thumb and use the 5 S's when I taste wine. The 5 S's include sight, swirl, smell, sip, and savor. So we'll start with number 1, which is sight. And I like to look at the color before I start my tasting. So I have this nice white piece of paper to help me look at the color. I always like to tilt the wine a little bit to the side to really get an idea of the age of this wine. An older wine tends to be a little bit lighter in the color red, more of a brick red color, whereas a younger wine tends to be a little bit darker. This one is definitely a younger wine. This is our 2018. After sight, secondly, I like to swirl the wine. This is my favorite part. So to swirl wine, basics, start with your glass on a flat surface. You can either hold the stem of the glass or you can use the base of the glass. I like to use the stem of the glass. And swirl just in circular motions, just a little bit. Make sure your glass isn't too full so we don't spill the wine. I like to have my glass half full at all times. And really give it a good swirl. Swirling the wine is important because when you swirl the wine, you're letting oxygen into the wine and really opening up those aromatics. It's another form of decanting your wine. So you're really able to get more of those wonderful aromas out of this wine. Once you've swirled your wine and really opened it up, it's great to take your wine slowly to your nose and begin to smell. Now, the best way to smell the wine is to really go slow and calm and really kind of take it all in. So smelling the wine, I bring the glass to my nose. And everybody perceives wine just a little bit differently. What I smell in this glass might be different than what you're smelling in your same glass of wine. This specific Cabernet, I get a lot of these dark berries, blackberry, blueberry, a little bit of toasted coconut, and some dill from the oak influence as well. Now, once we've swirled our wine, smelled our wine, we are now ready to sip our wine, which is the most fun part. So sipping the wine also involves a little bit of smelling. You want to breathe in through your nose just a little bit as you take your first sip. Delicious. As I sip the wine, I do like to inhale a little bit of oxygen over the palate. I'm coating the palate, letting it swirl around so that I can really get all of that wine, all that liquid surrounding my taste buds. You also want to let it sit on your palate for just a little bit to really understand the weight of the wine. Is it a light-bodied wine? Is it full-bodied? How does it really coat the palate? So let's give it one more sip to really be sure. Upon sipping the wine, there's a lot of different flavor profiles that we can gather to really understand if this is a wine that we really enjoy or if it's something that might be not to our liking. This wine is one of my favorites. Absolutely love this. It's a younger wine. It has this bright acidity, which I can feel when I sip because it really kind of makes the palate salivate right here on the sides. It's also quite tannic. It's young. We have thick skins from the grapes creating those tannins, which really kind of sucks that saliva off your palate and dries off the tongue. I know this wine's going to last for a long time in the cellar, and it will be just as good in another 10 to 15 years. So those are our 5 S's. One thing that I wanted to end with is savor. Now that we've enjoyed looking at the wine, smelling the wine, swirling the wine, sipping the wine, we're now going to savor and really enjoy that wine with our family and friends. Also, please remember that when you are sipping your wines, especially if you're going to multiple wineries, that another S is to spit the wine. We have a spittoon right here, which most wineries will have for you, to make sure that we don't overconsume and we drink responsibly. Cheers! For more helpful videos, please visit the Silver Oak blog.